The world was frequently saved by heroes. The routine of the world is altered by these tales. We're counting down the top 10 storylines that impacted the DC Universe today on ConSip. Thanks for giving us a little strength by hitting that like button and subscribe for more content. It's deeply appreciated. For this list, we're focusing on the plots that, in some cases, had a truly significant impact on the DC multiverse. Number 10. Blackest Night. Huge character deaths have increased as huge events have become more necessary and as superhero comics have adopted a grimmer tone. The Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, Elongated Man, The Question, a few Blue Beetles, and countless others have all passed away by 2009. Therefore, Necron, a being who is essentially death in somewhat human form, ended up with a pretty stellar lineup when he decided to use a Green Lantern villain to resurrect an army of the dead. By the time the combat stopped and good triumphed, 12 deceased characters had naturally been brought back to life and were prepared to have an impact on the DC Universe's destiny. Number 9. The Kingdom. The multiverse was supposed to be eliminated in Crisis on Infinite Earths by DC, but problems continued cropping up. DC continued to release the Kingdom Come miniseries, which is situated outside of DC continuity. Even after that series concluded in 1996, a character by the name of GOG repeatedly killed Superman in the Kingdom, which acted as a kind of sequel. Every time he did this, new timelines were virtually produced. In order to explain contradictory continuities, DC employed the idea of an infinite number of potential timelines, or hypertime, but in reality it only opened the same can of worms as the original Multiverse Theory. Number 8. 52. 52 was a year-long event that was released once a week. It had many different threads, but the important one revolves around the time travelers RIP Hunter and Booster Gold, as well as Booster's mechanical droid, Skeets. RIP and Booster learn that Skeets has changed his mind and is initiating a sinister scheme to rule time. Skeets has actually been seized by the evil Mr. Mind. This leads to the discovery of a brand new multiverse, except this time there are 52 enormous parallel worlds instead of an infinite number of universes. Number 7. 0 Hour. Crisis in Time. After the Crisis on Infinite Earths, DC was still experiencing some continuity issues. For example, how was it possible that the Justice Society was still active when its members were in their 70s and 80s? And how could the Legion of Superheroes have been inspired by Superboy if he was no longer alive, when an insane Hal Jordan attempted to remake the universe in the 1994 film 0 Hour? These and other issues were addressed. Heroes stopped him from carrying out his plot, but a new chronology started after the incident. Number 6. Infinite Crisis. The Superman and Lois of Earth 2, Luthor of Earth 3, and the Superboy of Earth Prime had left Earth Prime at the conclusion of Crisis on Infinite Earths and had moved into a pocket universe. When Superboy figuratively pinches a hole in reality 20 years later, they were able to flee. Superboy Prime goes on a maniacal killing spree as Luthor recreates Earth 2 and a number of other parallel Earths. Eventually, Superboy Prime battles the post-Crisis Earth and succeeds in merging all the Earths into one new Earth, which is somewhat similar to what occurred in the first Crisis but different. Number 5. Final Crisis. DC can never have enough crises, thus in 2008, Final Crisis arrived. Darkseid recently passed away, leaving a hole in creation into which the multiverse is being drawn. Humanity is enslaved by the anti-life equation as a result of this epic and protracted conflict between Darkseid's forces of evil and the forces of good. It turns out that the Dark Monitor was involved in all of this in the end. Eventually, Superman recreates the multiverse using a device known as the Miracle Machine. Number 4. Formation of the Justice Society of America. There are just a lot of superheroes seated around a large table on the cover of All-Star Comics number 3, which doesn't appear that thrilling. However, this issue ended up being significant because it brought together a superhero team from what would later become DC Comics for the first time. This solidified the notion that all of the DC superheroes resided in one location and could unite at any time. As a result, the Justice League of America was eventually formed, and the necessity to explain how these two teams could coexist led to the creation of the multiverse. Even though their first adventure was more of a get-together where each hero shared their tale. Number 3. DC Universe Rebirth. DC's relaunches have frequently incorporated components from several multiversal revisions. In this instance, the Rebirth took components from the most recent New 52 overhaul and chose which ones to maintain, which ones to eliminate, and which ones to incorporate from past updates. Significantly, Rebirth revealed that Dr. Manhattan had already deceived the Flashpoint/New 52 universe. The Watchmen characters had previously existed independently of any DC universe. His addition has effectively added them to the DC canon. Number 2. Flashpoint. All the Flash wanted to do was rescue his mother from being killed, but when he succeeded in doing so, he seemed to have created Flashpoint, a brand new universe with Superman as a top superhero, Cyborg as a key character, and Wonder Woman and Aquaman at war with one another. Naturally, he travels back in time to correct the situation, but the New 52 universe that results is also drastically different. One difference is that everyone is 10 years younger. Superheroes had only been a thing for a few years prior to the drastic revamp known as the New 52. Number 1. Crisis on Infinite Earths. The Crisis, the first of DC's corporate crossovers, was planned to take place around the company's 50th anniversary. To fix all the continuity issues and conflicts that had accrued over that time, Marv Wolfman and George Perez set out. It ultimately came down to a fight with the omnipotent Anti-Monitor, who is consuming universes. His benevolent opposite, the Monitor, combined 5 other universes into one to stop him. Along the way, numerous heroes and villains as well as entire universes were wiped out. Supergirl and the Flash's deaths had a significant effect. Join our community, hit the subscribe button, and never miss out on our latest videos. Your support means the world to us and helps us grow. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.